Well, how's everybody doing today? We've got a part to go back onto the hose machine here. I ended up breaking both of these ears off on this crimper that goes up into the hydraulic press part of the machine here. Oh, so this just goes up into here. Alright, that's on there. What had happened was I was using this collet wrong, or the spacer ring or whatever. I was using that collet with the flat side down, and the crimper slipped off and broke one side off, and then I thought I would just push it off to the other side, and I ended up breaking the other one too. So this one needs to be down that way, not up. So that's replaced. We'll get on to the next thing here. Alright, this is our little room manure pump. We ended up getting a new shaft on here. The universal went out of that end, and I had to get a new half to the power shaft here. So I need to get that part of the shaft up on the gearbox, and my phone is ringing right now, so I better answer that. So we're having a little trouble with this other end. I got this one end on the tractor here, but I can't get this other end onto the gearbox. Now, this one's kind of special. It's got 3 balls in here. I can't get the one ball to drop. So we're going to spray a little lube in here. Might have to whack it, get it to go on. That one ball won't move. These other balls move, but I can't get this one to move. Sometimes you got to get both hands on it. For a good, sturdy, hard push. Well, I'm going to have to get something to knock that back. That ain't working. Let me try this now. Alright, so we got the balls to lock into place, all knocked back. They're just rusty enough that they won't move. So, we'll get both hands on it here. We got our balls to drop. Now we'll try a little more lube on there. It's just enough rust inside that there. I think we're seated. So now that job's done. Now we'll get back to the next thing here. Norris is moving manure to the lagoon. We're not going to go out into the fields at all this week because of the amount of snow that we still have. So we'll get back down to the shop and see what we can get done here. Alright, Jared's unloading the last pallet of calcite here. Raining nicely, huh, boys? Got to double stack them.
Yeah, indeed.
Huh. So we use barn dry on the walkways up and around the parlor and down through the connecting alleys for added traction. So Jared is just getting done unloading that, and that guy had a log skidder on there that he's trucking for somebody. So now Norris is moving manure right now. He's moving it from the back pit, dumping it into the front pit. Because of the roads the way they are and the driveway is real slippery, you can't get up the driveway to the lagoon. And the front pump is pumping the manure from this front pit in through the pipe down to the lagoon. This guy was trucking some poly tanks or something. They're loading his tanks back up on the trailer for him. He dropped off 8 or 10 pallets of barn dry. It's like I said, it's for added traction, the connecting buildings, and up in the parlor for the cows. Alright, we're finishing up with the oil change here. It is Wednesday night now. I didn't have a chance to work on this at all today. So, windy, rainy, crappy weather here today. So, this is finished up. I'm going to check the oil on it now. I've replaced the fuel filters. I've got to start it up, let it run for a second, recheck the oil, and see if we need to add any to it. Now that's right at the full line. Yeah, it's down like 2 boxes below the full, so that's decent. So we'll start this up and let it run for a second here. Yeah, we'll just let that oil settle for a minute here. Replace the coolant filter on it. And I also replaced the hydraulic filter on this. And, well, you know, I didn't put a catch pail underneath it. I just turned the valve off, and I ended up spilling a little bit once I got the filter off in there. Now, if you notice, that oil is red. That is a Kenpico hydraulic oil. I ended up getting a barrel of Kenpico oil for free. The guy gave it to me to try it, and he guaranteed that the hydraulic system would run cooler than using regular hydraulic oil. So we had kept an eye on everything, and we're running a Parker pump on this along with the other trucks have the same hydraulic system on them. And this hydraulic system on this with the Kenpico oil in it didn't run any cooler than one of the other trucks with the same hydraulic pump on it, same valve body, with regular oil, doing the same job, running the manure tanker. So that oil ended up not running any cooler than regular hydraulic oil that we use. So I was hoping that it would, because we have noticed that we can get about 5 years out of a hydraulic pump, and I was hoping to stretch that out to about 7 years, but that's just the nature of the beast. And you wear a pump out, you wear a pump out, but they are doing a lot of work too. So we might as well check the oil on this. This is had a chance to settle long enough now here. This engine, I removed the EGR valve on it, and it recirculated the exhaust around the back side of the motor, and it let it go back into the intake. And this engine was one of our dirtiest running engines. You'd change the oil, start the truck up, shut it off so that you could recheck the oil afterwards, and the oil would be just as black as the oil. The new oil would be just as black as the oil that came out of it. Since then, this oil has remained clean, and it remains clean for about the first at least 50 hours of the oil change. The oil is still a nice golden brown. Now this truck, I removed the EGR valve, but I didn't remove the cooler on it. We were getting some exhaust, or some coolant smells rather, and I thought the valve was leaking. So the valve ends up going up right up in there, and I actually have the exhaust manifold capped. There's a cap now right where the light is shining. I don't know if you can see that enough or not, but that's where the valve is set in there. And let's see here. Actually, no, the cap. I'm wrong. That is that is the EGR cooler that the light is on. There's the exhaust manifold is right there, and there is a cap on the vertical part, which you can't quite see, capping it where the EGR valve was. But you know, the cooler is still on here, so the exhaust gas would run. The valve was right there. It would run, the exhaust would run out of the exhaust manifold, and it would enter into the cooler and make its way around the other side of the engine and back in through the intake. With that being said, all that dirty exhaust ends up going back through your intake, and it ends up working its way, all that carbon ends up working its way into your oil somehow. So we're going to check this oil now, see what the oil level is, and we can finish this job up here. Now we're checking it to see if we need to add any. It's a little high on the stick. It's a nice golden brown. It's not dirty and black like it was prior to removing that EGR valve. Now it's right where it needs to be. It's right in the halfway point. Now I've got a jug of oil right over here. It's actually right here. Now we'll wipe this off, and we'll go into a jug that I'm using to transfer oil. That's the new oil is this color, and then the oil that was see, I've got that wiped off there now. I'll just dip this back down in. See, it's got a little bit of a tint to it, but not much. Before, when that EGR cooler or EGR valve was hooked up, that oil would be freaking black. drove me nuts. But that's gonna do it, I guess, for this video. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you at the next one. Kind of a short one today. We didn't do much videoing with how crappy it was outside. We did get some calcite delivered today. I videoed a little bit of that, but water got on the camera, and I don't know what it looks like. So, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you at the next one.